Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. So latest coming out of Netflix here is The Highwaymen, and it's taken 50 years for Hollywood to come up with a rebuttal to the legendary gangster film Bonnie and Clyde, which basically tells the law enforcement side of the story of how they end up murdering both Bonnie and Clyde. And this screenplay apparently has been kicking around for a while, and it's directed by John Lee Hancock, who's made Blindside, also made The Founder, about the founding of McDonald's, which I think is quite an interesting film. And this written by John Hughes. This was originally supposed to be the last swan song for Redford and Newman, and then Newman died and Redford sort of backed out. This was going to be a film with Harrelson and Liam Neeson, and of course Liam Neeson got busy. Kevin Costner doing the Frank Hammer role. Basically, Bonnie and Clyde in this are not seen throughout most of the film. Their back is turned to the camera, or their faces in shadows, but you fully see them in the final end. Bonnie and Clyde are a problem, and so Ma Ferguson, played by Kathy Bates, is like, well, I used higher taxes to pay for modern day law enforcement. I guess I'll bring back the Rangers even though I disbanded it. And so coming out of retirement is Hammer, played by Kevin Costner, of course, and he has a fine living working in the oil business, and he's married to Kim Dickens, which is like, it's always nice to see Kim Dickens in a film these days. Then he recruits Monty Gold, played by Woody Harrelson, and now, if there's one thing about the Depression, and I think what Hancock shows pretty well in Depression, is that you either have a fine living in Depression, or you're surviving the Depression. And Harrelson, at least one point, says when he comes across people that are worse off than him, and he basically says, and I thought I had it bad. Literally, everything is vintage. The Model Ts, the fashion, is like, literally, whoever rented out those old-fashioned cars was like, don't get a scratch on it, don't get a scratch on it. Two guys are old, grizzled, from the end of the Western era, basically, and basically, modern law enforcement, and particularly the Hoover boys, the FBI, are like, they're not quite antagonistic, but they're not all that deferential to them. There's particularly one backstory which is quite fascinating. If it's true, then that's really wow. Eventually, we do come to that climactic showdown on that highway, which is actually filmed on the actual spot where they actually died. In the original Bonnie and Clyde, Frank Hammer is portrayed as something as a bumbler, and then is the bumble his way into actually showing the actual spot, where Frank Hammer here is portrayed as an accurate, competent police officer. Basically, the Harrelson and Costner character are mystified as to why Bonnie and Clyde are romanticized here. At one point, one person says, yeah, it used to take someone getting published to become famous. Now all you have to do is kill people and you become romanticized. And they're bigger than movie stars, apparently. And at least one scene has it where Harrelson has a shot to take out someone, but no, a swarm of people just show up at their car, and that's really it. And nothing is ever going to unseat Bonnie and Clyde. I haven't seen that Lifetime version of that film, so I doubt anyone will actually watch that one. So there was a film about a decade ago. I think it's been almost a decade since this film, but it was Michael Mann's Public Enemies. Now, Michael Mann made the fatal mistake of doing a whole lot of style over very little substance. And trust me, folks, I left Public Enemies thinking which starred, Johnny Depp in a rare attempt during his, weirdness phase, to do a straight film, and had Christian Bale doing the American accent of the lawman who brought him down. The problem is, again, as I say, that's a whole bunch of style or substance. This film, I feel like, has more substance, and of course, yes, the style is the 30s style, no doubt. So in the end, folks, what I'm going to say about The Highwaymen, I am going to give this a matinee rating, because quite frankly, there are some moments that are just, it's nice to see what they've accomplished on screen here. So folks, The Highwaymen, have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.